When most people think about an OpenAPI definition, they think about a file that is just for developers. But increasingly, these OpenAPI definitions are being consumed by agents and automated tools. This makes additional metadata like descriptions or examples or operation IDs and tags even more important because your OpenAPI definition isn't just documentation anymore. It is the contract that defines the intent and the purpose of your API at scale. Let's take a look at how you can use Swagger Studio to enrich your API definitions with this type of metadata. So here's my API in Swagger Studio, and I've got 6 different versions of this API, and each version will add another level of detail and information for the benefit of agent or AI consumers. Let's start with a very basic version of an API design. Right now, all I have open in Swagger Studio is this very minimal OpenAPI file with no endpoints yet. It's just got the high-level metadata. Now, this block here, the info, is the identity of the API. It tells humans and tools what this API is, not just what it does. So the title, description, version, and contact information might seem like, simple documentation details, but they're actually the first signals an automated tool or agent uses to decide whether this API is even relevant to a task. If you imagine an agent scanning multiple APIs, this block often contains the deciding factors for whether the agent keeps reading or moves on. So the next level would be to add our first endpoint. And you can see here, I've defined a simple get orders operation, but the important part isn't the path, it's the summary and the description. These fields are where we express intent. So instead of forcing a tool to guess based on a URL or a method name, we explicitly say this endpoint lists customer orders and it supports filtering by status and date range. This kind of human readable intent is exactly what large language models and agents rely on when they're reasoning about how to use an API. Without this, all they really see is syntax. Next, we add an operation ID. This is a very important field for tools and agents, even though it's often overlooked. The operation ID gives this capability a stable machine-friendly name, in this case, list customer orders. Code generators use this, SDKs use this, and agents will often use it as a verb when they're planning actions. So you can think of it as the canonical name for what this operation means and not just how it's called technically. Now here, in version 4, what we've done is added some tags and some structure because as an API grows, the structure of the document becomes critical, and that's why tags are very useful. So I've added an orders tag here, which lets us group related operations conceptually. Documentation tools use this for navigation, but agents also use tags to understand what capabilities belong together. And you can see that I have a tag up at the top here, and I've also used it down at the operation level here. And what tags do is they turn a flat list of endpoints into something that's more like a structured capability map. Version 5, we're going a little bit further and we're looking at responses because it's not enough to say that an endpoint returns JSON, for example. We want to explain the meaning of that data, which we do down here. And here we're defining reusable schemas like order and order list. And notice that each field has a description. These descriptions are really important because they tell tools and agents what each field represents in the real world. This is where an API stops being a data pipe and starts being a semantic contract. And then finally here, version 6, what we've done is added some examples. And they might feel optional, but for agents, they're actually pretty powerful. An example anchors abstract schemas to real values. And a good example can show what a realistic response looks like, which dramatically reduces ambiguity when an agent is trying to reason about outputs or chain API calls together, which is a very common use case. In many cases, examples are the difference between an agent guessing what to do and actually understanding what to do with an API or a chain of APIs. So now you've seen that enriching an API definition isn't just about creating nicer documentation. Every piece of metadata that you add to your OpenAPI definition is going to help automated systems and agents to work with it more effectively. And Swagger Studio gives you a practical place to design and embed that intent right into your API from the start.